Hello and welcome to Elevenses Business Show, where we take time out to reflect on our business, the business world, finance, and all things business success. So, we are your hosts. My name is Maureen Adams. I'm from Malion Accountancy Services Limited. Please introduce yourself, girls.
Hi, my name is Maureen Egbe. I am the digital confidence coach, helping you with your processes and everything called digital to make you successful, profitable, and happy. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yejide Adeoye. I'm of Logic to Create and at YA Creates. I provide WordPress security services and also laser cutting and engraving services too.
Fantastic. How are you ladies today, this morning? You okay?
Good.
Good.
Good, ready for the week ahead?
Yeah, it's autumn's kicking in, getting a bit chillier.
Can you imagine putting on the heating already? I know. I have to go
as well.
Can't stand it. It's like it's gonna be a long winter. But anyway, let's go back to business, shall we? So today's topic is business plans, stroke business growth. And I'm not gonna lie, I hate business plans. Because every time I think about business plans, I think about the lot of work that needs to go into it. However, it all depends on what kind of plan or the length of plan you would like, basically. It doesn't have to be 10 pages, as some are. It can be just like a one-page outline too. But anyway, we get into details now. So, ladies, why have a business plan? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's really important, and I have a lot of people say, oh, you don't need a business plan. People just set up businesses. But for me, in terms of knowing where you want to go, knowing what your business is all about, that plan's there. It gets you thinking about it and actually understanding your area of business. So I really do think it's important. And I'm one of those ones that has got a 10-pager. Yes.
Ooh, well done. Wow. How long did it take to do that, More?
Ages.
Yeah.
But the secret, the point is, which I need to go back and do, is that it's supposed to be updated.
Yeah.
So it needs an update at this moment in time.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Yej?
Why have a business plan? I guess from the outset, when I was doing all these business courses, it was compulsory. But I didn't really understand why. I mean, like, yeah, I get it. You're writing your vision, you're writing this and you're writing that. But then I had a session with a business growth manager at ELBP 4 years ago. And it totally like blew my mind in terms of how he described why you have a business plan. And in the way that he said it was like, list all the things that you want to achieve in life, everything that you want, like your heart's desire, like to the nth degree, like the luxury holidays, the cars, everything, what kind of legacy you want to leave, what kind of pension you want to have, all of that. And then put figures to it and then work out how much you need to earn. And then it's like, that's where your business plan starts from. It's not about, what services you're going to give people and blah, blah, blah. It starts from what is going to get you out of bed in the morning to get you to drum up that business in, like, what's your vision of your life and those kind of things. So I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is a whole different thought process of why you need a business plan. And I get it, there are the standard things of you need it for if you want to raise finance, from a bank loan to angel investment, all of that kind of stuff. If you want, even if you wanted to like sell it shares and stuff like that, people want to see a business plan. So I get that kind of formal aspect of it, but yeah, in terms of the other thing, in terms of what's your life goal, are you going to hand it over to your family, all of that kind of thing. That's how I understood why you need a business plan.
Yeah, I can carry with you both. With you, Yej, when you said about the personal side of things as well, I was taught that too from ELBP. And I thought, oh, this is a new way of thinking, isn't it? Because that's what will get you motivated. It's not all about business, because obviously business is your life. So your life is, has to come from, it needs to be going forward somewhere. You can't have a business plan and then just carry on with business without, being responsible or taking to another level. You're not going to get anywhere basically. And yes, having a 10-pager is fantastic. And as you said, it needs to be reviewed ever so often. Otherwise, you lose sight, and you might coast a little bit.
Things change.
Yeah, exactly. Life changes. Wow. Yeah. So the next part I'm going to say is like, what are the main headings you should have on your business plan? Can I just say this? There's many other headings because I've seen many business plans. So no answer is right or no answer is wrong. It just depends on what the layout is basically. So yeah, go.
Totally. Well, you usually get those templates that you can go on any site. Was it Business Balls?
Yeah,
is that still going? I don't know.
Yeah, they got a new website. The last time I went on there, yeah.
I hope so. But there's lots of templates, and I think it was something that you said right at the beginning, more in the sense of that there are different types of business plans. And I remember you've got the official long business plan, which would be great for funding and so on. And then you've got the short one, and then you've got something called like a Canva.
Yeah.
So, so that's more a more picturesque, pictorial kind of business plan. And it's just got short headers such as your business operations, so looking at the setups, your customers. So again, depending on what it is that you're trying to achieve, and not a lot of people like detail, but if it's just to start so you can start thinking about your business, I think first of all you need to understand what your business is, the logistics, and your customers to start off with. So and that's involving operations, how you're going to run that business. So I'm sure you guys are going to fill in the blanks.
Yes, so I think things like your mission, your aims and objectives, your target audience, the locations in which you're going to operate, distribution channels, your competitor kind of like analysis, your SWOT analysis of your own self. And
Sorry, have you been studying or something?
I didn't want to give it all out
so many times, right? And I just like, oh God, I hate it. I really. And there's quite a few schools of thought in the business arena. Some people just say a business plan is not worth the paper it's written on, and others are like, oh, you could just write it on a business card. That's how much you can put on it. Yeah, I've seen so many debates about it, and then others expect you to write a whole book. But again, it is what is your purpose? Like if it's just for you and you want to just float along, blah blah blah. Your business plan is what it is, but if you want to present to an angel investor, you've got to put your financial projections, you've got to put your market analysis, your research, your all of that. Like you've got to really have that detail, and even just for a loan. And I've never been for a loan or anything like that, but in terms of a lot of business advice programs that I went to from like 2011, 2012, it was always about that kind of thing. They always, I think there was an assumption that everybody's going to go for a loan. So you get like, or financial support in one way or another. So the business plan was a key document that you had to really look at, and the different headings. So your sales forecasting, all of that, like it's just this massive, it could be massive or it could be really small. It depends on who it is that you're advised by, as well as who you're targeting if you do want to get support financially.
Yeah, as you said, Judge, like, it depends on, well, as you both said, it depends on like, what your outlook is. For me, like for accountancy purposes, it's quite bland, to be quite honest. I mean, my target audience is obviously depending on what niche of the market I want to go to, could be the charity clients, or it could be, limited companies, that kind of thing. That's not, okay, there's quite a few avenues, but, it's still kind of like static. And like for you, Yej, it's like your distribution channels could be all over the place, you know, because obviously because of why it creates, you know, and your jewelry making things and your you know, your puzzles and things like that, you know, that's like e-commerce, isn't it? So I would think that your business plan will have a bit more detail as well, because obviously even though you're doing e-commerce, there's still a cost to that as well, you know. And with you more, it's like your financials could be like, you know, what kind of software you need to, you know, to help you with your coaching side and your digital confidence coaching side as well, you know.
But the thing about it though is that, and for me, this is the reason why a business plan is important, is because your business changes all the time. So the guys that I've seen that don't have a business plan, it's like they're learning by mistakes, but they don't remember mistakes or things because they've got nothing documented. And that's something that I learned from Yej, in the sense of that document everything, processes, everything, all the steps. You know what I mean? Because the thing about it, unless you know and understand what where you are or what's happened in the past, where you are, you can't tell or plan where you're going.
And also you have to do your market research. You have to do your market research.
Totally.
This is like who's out there, who's doing what, how they're pricing things. You know, you can go out there and do, you know, open up a business blindly without even doing the market research. It's like the other day, I saw something advertised. It's like a games board, basically. It's called Ludi board. Like one person was selling it at 40, another person was selling it at 100. I'm thinking, but hold on a second. Did anybody do any market research to see what, you know, what the average is, you know, and what's so special about the £100 one compared to the £40 one? You know, it's like, I couldn't get the logic of why it was such a big difference. Maybe they didn't do a business plan here with me. Part of the business plan, part of my favorite parts actually is the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis, so just in case nobody knows what SWOT means, is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And now that is quite, well, obviously the whole business plan is quite important, but that is also important too, because you need to know what is out there, what might deter you from getting to your goals, and, you know, and how you would attack it, basically, you know?
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think, however, there's, what I found with SWOTs is that when I first started doing it, I just kept getting it mixed up between myself and the business. So of late, I've done like a separate one just about me in terms of how I operate as a, you know, business owner, and so on, or self-employed person, and the SWOT around that, not the SWOT around the business, because I feel like those two are very separate. And if you mix it up, then you're kind of muddying the waters or something. So it's assess yourself to understand how you operate in your business, but also assess your business in how it will fit into the world with your competitors and all that other kind of stuff. And then you realize how you are affecting your business, and, you know, how your business is affected by external parties and factors as well.
Now looking now, perfect example, COVID.
Well, see, that will come in more on the risk analysis, you know, because you're supposed to do kind of like a risk analysis for your business.
I true that.
You know, I mean, yeah, that could fit into threats, but then do a separate risk analysis, like what's the worst things that can happen, you know, what's, you know, planning, even though it might be unbelievable. Remember last time when we were talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken, running out of chicken, you know what I mean? Who would have thought?
You would have thought the risk of changing a delivery supplier with a bin that you have no chicken.
Can you imagine? Oh my God, no chicken. Anyway.
But then it goes down to obviously the other things, the logistics. So, because remember we were saying that it was part of that they changed suppliers or whatever. Deliveries. So again, being clear about that in your business plan, rather than, you know, keeping everything in your heads.
Yeah. And also don't forget as well, like even with my business plan, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to own up to it now. I did my business plan really late. I'm so sorry. But, you know, at least I've done one. Are you with me? So I need to, actually, it's time for me to review it, to be quite honest. So thank you for reminding me. But some business plans I've seen is that they've got a lot of weaknesses and threats. Unfortunately, it's just that's just the way it is, you know. So with one of my threats, I've got a lot of competitors in my own area as it is. So we just need to think about how you put yourself forward. Basically, your USP, unique selling point. I mean, how can you make yourself different from the rest? Basically, how does your head stand above the parapet? You know,
I mean, I think that everybody, most of the people that I've come across in training, and especially with startups, this is one of the hardest questions. You know, it's like, you know, if you think about all of those, I don't know, I'm stuck on chicken now. All of those chicken shops. It's a chicken shop. How are you going to make yourself different?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the surroundings, maybe the staff has wear some kind of funky uniform, you know, that kind of thing, you know, or give them like a free wing.
But like KFC's USP was that they had their special recipe from the kernel in it or whatever. 23.
Yeah. So what was Dixie's?
So say that again. What
was Dixie's fried chicken?
God knows. I mean, they've got a drive-thru in Birmingham, so that's a USP I've never seen. Like, a Dixie drive-thru, you know, I was baffled. But I think, yeah, USP, I hate it. I've always found it the stumbling block. And once I get to that, I'm like, oh, whatever, innit? I'm me, innit? That's the unique selling point. What do you
exactly.
That is the number one.
And I think the problem with that is being able to describe yourself and your qualities or something in a dry document, right? Like we're very like, we've got character, we're you know, enthusiastic people, but when you write a business plan, right, it's just a dead document. It's very dry. It's like writing for a CV or application form and blah blah blah, and you get judged by that to a certain extent. It's only until people see you on a one-to-one or you have a conversation. So again, it's that thing of maybe, I don't know, like maybe there needs to be some evolution in business plans or whatever, maybe do like video versions or whatever, who knows, but to show who you really are and what you are about, because you can write your mission and objectives, but can you feel the passion for it? Can you feel who, you know, what you're all about from this business plan? You can write all the financials and blah blah blah. Yeah, that means you've done your research. To a certain extent, that means you've just basically gone on Google and got some numbers, put it down, and said, this is, you know, the market nation to me.
But that's the purpose. Because what I found that when I first done mine is that actually it made me actually sit down and understand the actual business and the business area that I was going into, which most people don't do. You know, they have a great idea and they think that is just it, but they don't understand the logistics, the competitiveness, and all of those different things, the research and everything that they need to do. And you know, they end up spending lots of money on websites, advertising, and doing all of this nonsense without actually, you know, really knowing the processes. And until you do a business plan, do you actually get to understand what really is needed first and foremost.
And don't forget, ladies, as well, like any threats or weaknesses, what do you do?
Cry.
What?
Sorry.
No, guys, that's not. You may do that to start off with.
Yeah, you may do, because it's such a long list. But however, you try to think about turning them, like the weaknesses, into strengths, and your threats into opportunities.
Yes. You mitigate it, you do your risk assessments, and you also, with weaknesses, and again, this is why the most recent SWOT that I did was like, yeah, I can't do this, and I'm not good at that. I need to outsource facts, and I need to make the money to make sure that I can afford to outsource this, because then it's fine, I'm calm. Do you see what I mean? So again, yeah, it's finding the solutions, and that's the thing. We're not good at everything, and we shouldn't try to kill ourselves to try and be so as well.
And if you need more skills, then at least you can timetable it all in. Because this is, again, knowing how much time, how much finances, how much money do you need as well. So it's good.
I was going to say that as well, like, you know, obviously with the financials, and your budgeting and your startup costs, that kind of thing. Put everything down that you can think of, every little thing, even a pen.
Mm.
It might sound silly, but because financial can easily go over budget, without a doubt. So at least like you've got a list of what you need, all your capital expenditure, laptops, your computers, whatever, software, that kind of thing, furniture, whatever. Even like materials, because I'm sure you have to shell out for your big machinery, which I've seen in your studio.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like in the creative world, like for my logic to create kind of finances and budget is very standard. Like it's just monthly subscriptions or yearly ones, and the costs are just very straightforward. Creative wise, that's a whole different ball game, because you have things where like your machine looks like it's gonna do the cutting job as you want it to, and then it's doing some wayward stuff. That's one sheet of material gone. Get another one. Oh, let's see it. Another one. Do you see what I mean? So material costs can be wayward. And then it's like, okay, let me get the machine service, and then that's another cost on top of that. And I guess again, it is that thing of annual service, get that done. The cost of if you move your machine and then it becomes disorientated, it's not gonna cut for you properly, which is what I've experienced. So now I need to get a service, but then I'm like, oh, I need to move it again to my space. So and now I've got work, and I'm like, okay, do I absorb the cost of £2.50 a sheet for now until I can get it moved? Do you know? So again, and depending on what people want, you have to get things at different sizes, different costs. Obviously, the cost gets passed over, and again, the delivery cost and maybe the delays on that and postage, all of that kind of thing, depending on the weight, those kind of things.
Can I ask, is it useful to have all of that in a business plan?
Nah. I mean, I've got the spreadsheets, and the spreadsheets can be linked to the business plan. Do you see what I mean? So annual postage costs, they're going to change every year, isn't it? So you update it, then you put it, you connect it to the business plan. Material costs, I've got all my suppliers, how much something cost this year or last month. Do you see what I mean? It's just a lot of that you have to keep trying to staying on top of it, and weights and all that kind of stuff. So something I feel like I could send through Royal Mail, they'll be like, no, you have to send it through Parcel Force, DHL, blah. I was like, okay. Those kind of things. But and this is where, and I guess we'll move on to this, but it's all about adaptability.
All right, because what it sounds like to me is like initially you said nah, but actually it's about having these documents that you pull together which make a business plan.
Yeah, exactly. And business plans are mainly a whole heap of strategies into one, isn't it? You just bring it all in together. Yeah.
So we touched on like how long a business plan should be, but basically, I believe that you write a business plan. Don't think about the length of it, because that would just probably put you off, like it did me. Just do your best on the business plan. Obviously, you can get it checked by somebody else, like somebody professional, or somebody like a friend or whatever, not. And then you can just build on it. Because because every time you review, you're going to build on it. You're going to think about something new or something's happened in the past, as like edges. Build on it, and then it probably will turn into a 10-pager, But I think we have to review it quite often. Well, not often. Well, yes. I mean, it depends, because like if your business is a fast-moving business where it changes, then yes, obviously monitor it regularly and update it regularly. I mean, if not, then obviously like once a year or something like that. But it needs to be looked at so you can refresh your memory. It might sound silly. Refresh memory of your goals. Refresh your memory of where you want to be, and of your financials. What have you bought, what you haven't bought, what you have done, what you haven't done, what needs to be done. That kind of thing. So it needs to be reviewed regularly. and as I said, I need to review mine. Anyway.
Okay, we're here for you. We're here for you.
Thank you very much. So, I mean, we did say, like, as I said, like, to review regularly. But how often do you think it should be reviewed?
Well, for me, I think it goes back down to initially when you create your business plan, that's it there. But it is to separate out into separate documents. So financials is something that's going to be updated quite frequently. You know, logistics, you know, whether does it change? You know, has things moved on in the business? So I would say it's like different parts of the business plan needs to be updated at different times.
Okay.
Certain things like your vision, your mission, and all of that most probably can stay unless that has changed. So I think it's like, just remember, it's a living document. That's what I would say, is update it as it needs to be updated.
So I can't really say 1 year or 2 years, really. It has to be like as and when, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, and particular parts.
Yeah. Okay, I have to put that into my diary somehow.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, as Maureen said, as you need to, and the different the areas that need to be looked at more than others. And I think, obviously, with the pandemic that has happened, I think quite a lot of people have had to revisit their business plans, just to make sure that they survive and stuff like that. I think most, all three of us have kind of had that online delivery business model from years back. So our thing was just like, okay, yeah, Zoom, in it. we were already on Zoom, we were on Skype, we were going, you know, hang out, all of them. We kind of like, we're already in that cloud world anyway. So I guess those who weren't had to be looking at that and now actually taking those options as a viable means of continuing their businesses. And so, yeah, I guess some incidents in life make you have to go and look at your business plan very quickly and in a matter of urgency. And others, you know, it's as and when required.
So, girls, your final thoughts. What would your final thoughts be on just giving the audience a tip or two?
Okay. Business plans for me are important because it gives you an idea about how you will manage your business and how your business is going to be. My biggest tip would be is don't think of a business plan of a way to prove that your business is going to be good, because sometimes that's what people do. It's like, yeah, I need to just prove that my business is going to work. Actually, it's an opportunity to see how best your business can work.
Definitely, good tip. I think I mentioned it previously. Just be flexible and adaptable with your business plan. Review it as best you can, and don't be overwhelmed by the different formats and the thing. Don't like, because I feel for me personally, I just don't like business plans, but that's not a good feeling to have. It's, you know, we need one, and it's good to just get over that emotional feeling of it and just deal with it as you need to, especially if you are thinking about, and this is an important point, all your business plans should have exit strategies. Like, where do you want it to go? Do you want to sell your business, pass it on to your family, and what's the word? What do you need to put in place to make sure that happens? Because if something happens to you tomorrow and, you know, you had those kind of things in place ready, then, you know, you've kind of how do you say it, planned for it. And recently we had a lady who passed away who was a really great business mentor, and we thought that her business would just be stopped by then, but her family have stepped in to keep it going. So clearly she had those things in place already, where even her like digital systems, Facebook, blah blah blah, could be accessed by her family for them to continue her legacy. So yeah.
Fantastic. Of course, actually, as you were saying that, I haven't got that in my business plan at all, but I do have a strategy where if anything happens to me, I have a colleague that will take over and continue the business. So obviously I should link that up. As you said, Maureen, there's external things that should be linked up to the business plan, you know, it doesn't have to be in one document itself, obviously, you know, linked up. For me with business plans, as Jade said as well, like don't make it a blockage, you know, just write a simple one. Even if it's a one-liner on each paragraph, you know, there's plenty of templates out there, even simple ones. If to be honest, I made one up myself because I couldn't take the complexity of business plans. So I made one up myself with the main headings, and I just put a few lines in there, and now it's going to build up on that because I just feel like sitting down doing a business plan, it just takes so much of my energy, and you know, with a glass of wine doesn't really help, you know, just to try and, you know, get through it. So just
don't do that. Don't do that.
Especially the red wine. But
That's it.
I want to read your business plan. I want to see what you got.
I know. Zoom parties.
Don't forget to include the red wine in the financials, yeah? Okay.
You have to cost it.
Maybe we should have a business plan review, like, and see.
That's it.
Swap each other's one and say, what is this?
No, let's put it on the list. Maybe that's a business plan party. We should have one. Let's do that.
But basically, like, don't get bogged down with the length of it and the complexities and the information and how long it should be. Just do a simple one and build on it. Basically, you know, just don't be bogged down by that. It's just too much. So I hope you've all learned something today. And please, if there's anything that we've missed or anything you want to add, put it in the comments box, please. I beg. And another quick thank you to our, you know, our regular followers. Thank you for continuing to support us, to listen to us, madness, you know. Woo-hoo. Yes, and thank you very much.
It's only mother.
Stop lying, girls, man. I've seen you.
I'm scared from my couch, you know.
Listen, I'm just Elevenses.
What's in there?
Where's your cup of water?
Yeah, isn't it? Where's your gin and tonic?
That's the late night special.
You know.
Yes. So anyway, ladies, you have a great week.
You too.
Audience, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Have a great week and see you next week on the
11-6.
Bye.